orbital strike will just try and push him and force him out of sight, and forces him right into the bullets of pyth. And I think you're right, a economy res very important, something that not enough Sages do at lower ranked Valorant, that's for sure. Just keeping everything healthy going into these final 2 rounds for G2. They'll want to try and make this a 7-5, and they won't want to go down the same avenue of losing bind in their opening map of the series like they did against Fabricant. 15-8 for Davidp. I mean, he doesn't look like he's a support player, really, does he?
No, and dare I say it, we might be looking at the player to round out this G2 roster, and I mean, he's absolutely demonstrating he's worthy of it today. He's had a fantastic performance so far. Again, if you can rely on your Sage to just keep putting in work like that, again, the expectation, it's a bit of a stigma for Sage players, but he's definitely breaking the trend.
Well, Apexis here. Just having a little scout around at A site. 2 players down, the trade happened, but ardiis is now going to get a little bit of recon on. See if anyone is in showers, and then once that information has been provided, perhaps that will cause for even further of a heavy rotate. It's just the Cypher on the side of G2 at B at the moment. But pings have come round. I think they've definitely heard that there are some footsteps here at short. Can Apexis safely get onto this site? Smoke's come down as well as a cyber cage as well, but Mixwell, that's the ability you have as a Jet. You get the kill, you dash away, and you've given the information to your team. Tarduu has managed to work his way into lamps at the very least. There's only 3 of them remaining as Mixwell gets yet another onto Flash, and now surely 2 versus 4. This is no way doable as David just makes things go from bad to worse. Razorconee at least will get 1. But unless he pulls out something magical here, this is going to be the round. 2G2, 6-5. And Apexis is just really struggling to break past the sheer wall of Mixwell at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, if they can play for the 6-6 here, it's again, economy-wise, it's going to be very difficult for them. You can see now 2 forcing up the Bulldogs. There's 1 Phantom in the hands of the Jet on Apexis, and then 2 Spectres for Flash and Razor. So it's a tall order. We have an operator on ardiis. Mixwell actually going back to the Phantom again, but again, just seeing Mixwell use that kind of self-sustain, again seeing it here. You can go for that peak. It's so hard to punish. Let's get to see a full push come out here. Razorconee going to find Pat with the showstopper. First blood here, and actually getting all the way into defensive spawn here. Going to find pyth on the rotation towards heaven. Mixwell going to catch the wall up here. He's going to find 2 from that position. Flash and Maxic fall. That's huge from Mixwell.
It's all going to come down to Bacyx and Tarduu, who are going to be somewhat behind here. Razorconee gets one with the showstopper onto Mixwell. And now we can see yet another wall from David. And that is not the wall that he wanted. He makes it, he splits it himself. But at least he gets the 1 onto Bacyx. 1 versus 2 now at this point. We'll tap it yet again to get a little bit of information. There's 1 player shower sides. Cyber Cage comes up for defense. And Razorconee should be able to push through, but he does match him. Davidp almost did the job, but thankfully Razorconee was there to save the day as we get 6-6 after the first half. And Apexis is certainly making a game of this.
Yeah, I mean, again, we only had the screenshots to go off. We didn't get a chance to watch the other games, but Apexis is definitely not, I guess, lying down for this series. It's looking like they want to... I mean, they've already broken the 3-round curse, right, Dan? They've got 6 on the board on attack, and that's a tall order against a warmed G2.
Well, G2 certainly did struggle on the attacking side of Bind in their previous series against Fabricant, so we'll see what they have to offer here. Pistol round, as always, very important, because usually guarantees you at least 2 rounds. Not quite the same as Counter-Strike, where it would usually guarantee you 3, because the 3rd round is very different in Valorant. 3 members going to be heading towards Hookah on both sides, and Shot Dot does a little bit of damage. Mixwell and Pat can then clean up Bacyx and Flash. And there's just 1 remaining player in Hookah, is going to be Max, and unfortunately his vision has been very much taken away from him. 5 versus 1. Razorconee, this is your chance to step up? No, didn't think so. 7-6.
Mixwell hunted, absolutely hunted Maxic through Hookah there. With the cloud burst coming down, covering the jump up onto the box. I think Maxic thought like he had him stuck in the slow orb there as well, but G2 just absolutely punishing that hooker push from Apexis. And again, the shock dart just to open things up there. I feel like that did damage, some serious damage to all three players that peeked out there.
Well, G2 with the initial pistol victory will give them the jolly old reward of getting a couple of SMGs, but it's going to be aggression from Apexis down middle this time. At least they get the first. Razorconee taking down ardiis, and maybe that's going to be the command now for G2 to push straight onto the B site because everyone is stacked over at A. It's going to be a free plant. It means that after plants can be thought about and considered with plenty of time to do so. And then there is a cheeky pyth waiting around at A as well. And unfortunately for Apexis, they just haven't been able to catch more than one. I like the idea in a second round, just trying to do something a little bit different, but G2 were wise to it.
You actually see the teleplay come out from Apexis here. Coming round, Pat gonna find Maxic, coming to hookah, gonna find two, actually three! That's fantastic from... Wow! Pat actually just shut that down. Wow.
I mean, when they've got no armor and pistols, it always looks a little bit easier than it should. But we've seen it go wrong so many times.
That looks good, though. That looks good.
It's a skill in its own, really, not to choke when you're getting pushed by people with little weaponry and little armor. But now this is where it gets interesting for G2. Can they have the same sort of effect? Or are Apexis with a buy going to be able to stop any sort of push? But slows come out from Davidp just to ensure that no one can push down long here, so they can get a little bit closer. That's always the worry when you've got a couple of SMGs, that they're going to take advantage of any lengthy battles. But there's so many drones there. Tarduu at least takes down Davidp. Mixwell gets the second as ardiis also follows up onto Tarduu. And G2 have the player advantage going onto the site here. Could be sprayed through smoke. Pat gets one onto Razorconee, and Mixwell just wants some of this. He faces one, he's going to face the second as well. He has no fear whatsoever, and quite rightly so. 9-6 now for G2.
I absolutely love that. The preemptive slow orb there to follow up on the owl drone, just in case it got the tag. And again, Tarduu did fantastically to get that first kill, but again, that setup from G2 there is just... I mean, it's to punish any sort of aggression on this B long. And you can see how much it paid off for them there.
Well, the amount of times on a round where one team will buy up and get the rifles, the other team's still on SMGs, you try and take those long fights, right? You want those battles. You want to be able to look down long and not be challenged by SMGs, but instead, because the slows came out, the smokes came out, you're able to push up and get close enough. Well, Apex is on a weak buy again, and they have stacked a site, but unfortunately, the 50-50 flip has not worked in their favor. Spike goes down, and now we'll see the quick rotate from all five of them. Really unfortunate. It just happens, though. Round 2 for Maxic. pyth comes back there with two of his own, and actually Bacyx has been able to take down pyth, and they've done pretty well there. A lot of facing from the G2 squad, and if they can pick up those rifles, maybe this is doable. The wall comes out from Davidp to at least delay them ever so slightly. Razorconee has been able to find a Phantom to work with. Does get smoked off here, and he can push out together. The grenade just to maybe strike a little bit of fear into the eyes, but there's Mixwell waiting. Gets the first, Bacyx gets the reply. He's very weak here. And Davidp is nowhere to be seen, but there's not going to be time. He doesn't have to worry about it too much. It was definitely a little bit of a flaky round for G2. I don't think they needed to face that much when Apexis were pushing through spawn, but either way, they get the 10th on the board, and Apex did a little bit of damage to the economy.
Yeah, I mean, you got to expect G2's damage limitation to be a bit better there, but I don't think it's going to hurt the economy in the long run. They're still going to be coming out of this on top, and again, you know, you could argue that now this is going to be a buy round for Apexis, so keeping the gun isn't a huge factor. There we see the Maxic double sheriff, and then the return from pyth, but see Bacyx now gonna go for a long peek on B. Oh, we missed that. He just legged him. David gonna escape by a hair. The Hunter's Fury gonna come out from ardiis now. Did get the tag with the owl drone. Does follow up once there. Doesn't land the second with the Hunter's Fury though. And we're gonna see Mixwell pop the Blade Storm. He's gonna look in to get aggressive here. Just full force from G2 here. Gonna find Maxic on site. Turns around and finds Bacyx as well in glass. This is Oh no, Mixwell, you can't do it to them. He's gonna find the third onto Flash as well.
And he's going to keep searching. I think he wants this ace. He's going to push in. We'll find the fourth. Four for Mixwell. There's a Cypher remaining. And if I'm Mixwell here, I'm saying, let me go hunting, boys. Give me that ace. Let me just
go.
rub salt in the wounds of our opponents. But Cypher is out of dodge. He doesn't want anything to do with this. He is going to be waiting in showers. And of course, Mixwell's going hunting. Go on, son. Give us the ace. He's jumping around. He wants to give the sound cues to his opposition just to try and make him poke out. But at this point, it's going to be G2 going 11-6 up. And I think they are very confident now in this second series. And any worries we had about them on bind have been quickly answered as here comes Mixwell for the ace. And there it is. I mean, that's beautiful play with the Jet. And that's why he is playing Jet as well. His aim is impeccable. His movement is incredible. And 11-6 now to G2.
I mean... What can you do when somebody's hitting shots with the Blade Storm like that? Again, to turn around and get Bacyx on glass there as well was just fantastic. Let's see, let's watch this again. First picks come out on Maxic. Again, the operator shot comes out from Bacyx. Mixwell turns around and just absolutely destroys him. Flash again, whiffing his spray a little bit there. Just fantastic entry from Mixwell.
I mean, it shouldn't have been able to happen realistically. Bacyx has missed an op shot there.
Yeah.
Probably should have connected, and then Flash again. Yeah, as you say, he choked a little bit, but at least he's made up for it at the start of this round. Flash and Maxic getting the opening two, as Apexis at least have the player advantage going into this one. But G2 have managed to find their way onto site. Mixwell and ardiis will get 2 frags of their own. Mixwell gets another, and he is on a tear right now. So much confidence, he's oozing it. 1 versus 1 though. Mixwell will fall to Bacyx, but the spike is being planted elsewhere. It's going to be down on B side to Davidp. And if there's anyone who knows how to play after plants, I mean, Davidp is going to be situating himself perfectly here, and this is going to be a very difficult retake for Bacyx.
Yeah, looks like David's actually going to go for an early peek from elbow as well here. You can see the slow went down to CT. David just caught sight of him. He's got the information now. He can peel off. He doesn't need to challenge. Bacyx now, obviously, he's the one has the pressure on. He's down to 39 HP. The tap comes out. David instantly peeking off that information. Again, it's just an easy one. It's just an easy win there for David.
Yeah, perfectly played in the 1v1. Just shoulder peeking to get any sort of information as if he was going to be pushing from that defender's side. Spawn, and then just repositioning himself to be as unpredictable as possible. 12-6 for Apexis, even though they had a very much a strong first half. Well, they haven't got around yet in the second half. G2 have absolutely dominated them and are looking to be going 1-0 up in the series. Man, there's not really much that you can say about Apex's play. They've just been out-fragged in this second half. G2 have looked relentless going forward, haven't allowed Apexis really a chance to breathe, let alone look for any sort of pushes. But Tarduu at least gets the opener onto Pat. Davidp gets Bacyx elsewhere, and Tarduu gets 3. Hello! Gets a Phantom as a reward. Now can look on site. Should be able to make this 4. No, he doesn't need to because Razorconee can get it for him. G2 down to just pyth in a 1 versus 4 with one player being weak, but he has an op. 1:10, so he's not going to save this. They don't need to save. They've got plenty of money. He's going for this one, surely.
Surely. And that's just to make it interesting, the 1v5. So let's see what pyth can do here again. Comes out for the peak. Not going to matter too much that they lose the operator because the economy is not an issue. Apexis do put 1 round on the board for defense. So not getting completely rolled, if you can say that, Dan.
I mean, sure, if you want to look at it that way, I'm
looking for something. I'm looking for something, Dan.
You can be the nice guy. I'm okay with that. I'll be the bad cop, and I'll say that Apex are getting stomped here by G2. But maybe this is going to be the momentum shift. Maybe they can start to pick up some more rounds here now and gain some confidence. I mean, it was all down to that 3K with the Cypher. And Razorconee gets an opening 2, but ardiis says, well, anything you can do, I could do better. And now he's going to push in, maybe look for a 3rd. But the wall is there. pyth has managed to flank round at the perfect time to take down Max. And now the 2 rotating players from B site are going to have to do something here. One of those being Flash. But there's the teleport. They say, we heard you rotating, and we'll head over towards that B site. No problem. Spike is going to just be faked here because he does get spotted and maybe baits out the orbital strike at the perfect time. At least Flash has taken out ardiis and made this a 2v2.
spy cam's still up, and actually Tarduu getting a tag there. Onto 2 players. Obviously, ardiis being the first had to cancel the spike going down, but pyth now spike in hand, makes his way through the teleporter. Is this going to be the best bait ever? He's come through the TP.
Go again.
Yep, go again. There you go. Coming all the way back. pyth's going to run to long now, pop through the TP again, and then plant on A side.
No, do another one. Stop this madness. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe this is, they've gone back to A. This is the perfect bait.
They tried to read the double bait here, and pyth is actually nope. The camera's still there. So Tarduu gonna get the information. Shuts
for the
down
fake
the trap. Yeah, I mean here you go. Both of them gonna come stomping through defensive spawn here. Cam's gonna go up from pyth. They're trying to take a position in elbow, but you can see them stacked up now. They just want to take this 2v1. There you go. Tarduu will find the headshot with the Phantom. I mean, other than the spy cam, pyth had them chasing their own tail for a little while there.
Always part of the fun of Bind, really, and that's why the teleporters just make this map a good, enjoyable watch and fun to play. Maybe not so much if you're on the defensive side and someone's just fooling around with you like that, but Apex has put a second on the board on their defensive side, making it 12-8. They'd need 4 more to take this to overtime, and as a reminder, we actually have proper overtime rules in place now, thanks to Riot updating the game and adding it. It means that if it does go to 12-12, then we would have both teams playing an attacking round, then a defending round, and you have to win by 2 rounds to win the game. I don't think that's going to go this way in this particular match. I think the G2 will close it out at some point. If not this round, then I'm sure they'll find a way to break through this temporary defensive strength of Apexis.
Albeit temporary. ardiis going to look for an owl drone through hooker. He's going to spot David dropping off sight box here. Tarduu with that same spy cam set up again. Not going to get any vision yet. Does actually catch David coming through here. There you go. Tarduu pick up 1, 2, and 3 through the sky smoke. Looking for a 4th neural theft popped. He's got the information now. Teammate's still over in defensive spawn. He's going to make it 4 on the round. Doesn't find the 5th though. pat's going to shut him down. No ace for you. Actually going to find a 2nd one through to Bacyx. That's his 3rd on the round. And Razor comes through with the headshot to shut that down. Finally. That was an impressive hold there from Tarduu. I'm not going to lie.
Now that's the 2nd or 3rd time he's done that as well. As a Cypher, there's so much responsibility on you because you're often just holding a site alone, or at least holding the weaker site because you have the traps to work with. But this spray down was ridiculous. Of course, he got the information here, and it was a very aggressive push from Davidp, but he kind of had to once he was tagged, and then that was just fortunate. I think the 3rd one manages just to catch him through him. Almost made it an ace. The 4th kill was pretty decent. The face was there. There was no insta challenge. That would have been one for the highlight reel as Mixwell gets the knives out and ready, and we've seen what he can do. He's already aced once this round. Is he just going to dash out of this smoke? Needs to have support from his teammates if he does, but tries to fire up blindly onto sight, and it's not really going to work out, but at least Pat is there to take down Flash. Max gets one onto pyth, and now David can push in and show that same aggression. Yeah. Tarduu, you're not going to do the same this time. And now there's another. Mixwell cleans up the damage that was already done. Spike can go down, and this should be the last round for G2. Apexis in a 2 versus 4, but Bacyx does have the knives available. Makes it a 2 versus 3. This is doable if he can find this kill. A couple of players just on site, and they just need to communicate, and they need to push together here.
Definitely doable here. The res does come out actually, so pyth's going to be back on his feet. Bacyx immediately negating that revive, and here you go. Showstopper going to get popped. Actually, Mixwell's going to find him, but go down to the Showstopper eventually, and there you go. ardiis will go peek onto site, shutting that one down. 13-9 for G2.